All right, good morning, Monarchs. Welcome to the video for lesson 4.2. We're talking about relations and functions. This is another part of an introduction to graphing, but we're talking about relations and functions today. So we're going to kind of go into what ordered pairs are, what they look like, and what they mean, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. Let me autofocus that a little bit. There we go. Okay. So our ordered pairs. Ordered pair is just two letters or two sets. It's a set of numbers. First is your x coordinate, and second is your y coordinate. It's always going to go x comma y, always x comma y, and that's because it's in alphabetical order. Okay, so our ordered pairs are always going to have our x coordinate and then our y coordinate, and that's because x comes before y. We can remember that because x comes before y. It's alphabetical order. Okay. So let's take a look at example one. Example one says a relation is a set or group of ordered pairs. So this is a relation. Okay, so this is our relation. This is a set of ordered pairs. Okay. And when we look at these ordered pairs, each of these is set up just like here. So for example, this is our x coordinate, comma, y coordinate. X, comma, y, x, comma, y. Okay, so our ordered pairs are 1, comma 2, 3, comma 4, and 5, comma 6. Okay, so then when we graph those, this is called our x-axis. See, it's labeled x here. This is our y-axis. So when we graph those, we always go on our x-axis first. So we always go right or left first. So here our x is 1. So I go to 1 on my x-axis. I go to the right 1. And then my y is 2. So from 1, I go up 2, and my first point is going to be right there. Okay, that's my first point. All right, that is the point 1, comma 2 right there. All right, 1 on the x-axis, 2 on the y-axis. All right, so now my next point is going to be 3, comma 4. So I go to 3 on the x-axis. So 1, 2, 3. Here's 3 on the x-axis, and then I go up to 4 on the y-axis. So my next point is going to be right here. That is 3, comma 4. Okay. My next point is 5, comma 6. Okay. Remember always x, comma y. So it's 5, comma 6. So I go to 5 on my x-axis, which is right here. It's between 4 and 6. And then I go up to 6 on my y-axis. So my new point is going to be right there. And as you can see, if we connected these dots, it would make a line. Right now, this is a discrete graph because there's no line connecting it. So that's one way that we can write a relation. Okay, so one way we can write a relation is in a graph, right? So this is our graph. That's the first way we can write a relation is through a graph, okay? And that's what we just did. The next way we can write a relation is through a table, okay? So there's multiple ways to write relations. We can write relations as a graph, a table, or a mapping diagram. We'll go ahead and do the table right now. In our tables, we're always going to have our x on our left and our y on our right, okay? Always going to have x and then y, all right? So, for example, if we were to put the first ordered pair there in this table, 1, comma 2, my x would be 1, my y would be 2, okay? That's because up here we have 1, comma 2, all right? 1, 2. For the next part, 3, comma 4, my 3 goes on the left under the x column, and my 4 goes on the right under the y column. Okay. Same with 5, comma 6. I have 5 here, 6 here. And if I was to keep going along this pattern of adding 2 to both, my next y coordinate would be 7, and this would be 8. And then we would have 9, 10. Okay, that's what would be the rest of that table. Okay, so my x's always go on my left under the x column, my y's always go on my right under the y column. Okay, for a mapping diagram, it's the same type thing. My x's are going to go on my left and my y's are going to go on my right, but they're not going to be connected. They're not right next to each other. So my x's go here, my y's go here. So I always label them x and y so I know exactly what's going to go in there. All right, so for my x's, I have 1. Okay. My next x is 3. And then my next x after that is 5. Okay. On the other side of the mapping diagram, we match them up with the y's. So my first y is 2. So that goes across from my 1. So now I have 1, 2. Those are my coordinates. My next y is 4. 4. So that goes across from my 3 because that's the y coordinate with this x. And then my last y coordinate would be 6 because that's the y coordinate that goes with my 5 x coordinate. Okay, so it's very similar to a table. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6. All right, so stay tuned for the next video for lesson 4.2. Thank you for watching.